Crypto Housewife here, and today I have a video a little bit different from my usual cryptocurrency stuff, and it's about caffeine, coffee, stuff that's supposed to give us energy. And today I want to tell you why I quit caffeine. So today is January 15th, 2022, and it's been 2 months since I quit drinking caffeine. And let me tell you, it's been life-changing. I kind of wish I would have never started drinking any caffeine ever. I feel a lot better now, and I have a feeling that I'm going to feel even better. They say it takes about 3 months for it to get out of your system and for you to get to know your real self that is not caffeinated. So I want to just tell you a little bit about why I quit caffeine and what happened since. So I was always, oh my gosh, I was at a point where I had adrenal fatigue, and I always felt tired. And I didn't know why. I kept trying to find things to energize me, and then I got trapped into a vicious cycle of drinking more coffee. I was drinking over 2 good-sized cups a day. During the pandemic, I started drinking more coffee because I just had more work to do, and it became a vicious downward spiral of the coffee and the lack of energy. Actually, I was at a point where it was just doing the opposite effect on me. Like, I thought I'd be more energized, but over time I was less energized, and my sleep wasn't quality sleep. I would wake up in the morning a little too early and not be able to fall back asleep. And that's how I started every day. And it was a drag. I'd have that first cup of coffee and it just wasn't doing it for me anymore, but I still would drink it and trying to perk up. And I was just tired of it. And I got to a point where I was kind of anticipating crashes. So a lot of my day I'd be thinking, well, I might be tired later and I might need more coffee. And I was like, this just isn't right. I got to change something. So I took the radical step of completely stopping drinking coffee. Bang, overnight, haven't touched it since. And I don't even crave it. I zero cravings. Like, they don't lace it with nicotine to make you want to keep drinking it. To me, it was just a habit. And I had to have it in the morning to kind of get rid of the drag that was still in my system, the caffeine drag or caffeine hangover, if you will, that was still in my system. So it was like a vicious cycle that just had to come to an end. So overnight, I just said no more. Well, that first week was pretty tough. I had headaches, and that's called withdrawal, I guess. And it lasted about 4 days. But there was something else, two things that really surprised me here. You see, as I started drinking more caffeine, I wasn't recovering from injuries as fast as I did before I started drinking lots of caffeine. For example, I had like a neck ache, shoulder ache, my lower back. I thought it was finished. It was always sore, and out of the blue, suddenly my legs were hurting from here down, like constantly. And the weird thing is, no matter how I would try to stretch out the pain, like stretch the muscles to relieve the pain, it just wouldn't work. Whereas years ago, I'd go jogging or something, and if I had tight calves, well, I'd do like calf stretches and it would feel better. But I just couldn't get rid of these pains, and it was chronic, and the pains would last for months. Like, I had a shoulder injury that lasted for like 9 months, and I never had that before. I was like, oh my gosh, is this just aging or what? What's going on here? So I thought that was really strange. While I was drinking a lot of caffeine, all this stuff was going on. But here is like the miracle. After 4 days of quitting caffeine, it's like a light switch went off. All those muscle aches and pains went away simultaneously in one shot. Boom. After 4 days. I couldn't believe it. And I did some research about that. And it seems that when you drink 2 cups of coffee or more a day, your body doesn't process the caffeine really quick. So the caffeine is processed through your liver, but if you're drinking multiple cups, it doesn't just go through all at once and then be gone with. So it takes time to get all of that out of your system. So where does the caffeine go in the meantime? It stores in your muscles. And believe it or not, if you have muscle pains or you hurt yourself, it augments the pain and keeps the pain dragging. No one told me this. My God, I would have never started drinking caffeine if I'd have known this. And so, yeah, by quitting caffeine, I get rid of my, what I was calling chronic muscle pains. And I was so relieved when they went away. It was like, wow, night and day. I could do the same things I was doing before I started, like drinking lots of coffee. I was like recovering quick from injuries because I remember I hurt my shoulder again after I quit caffeine. And boy, it recovered in like 3 or 4 days instead of like 9 months. Can you believe this? So yeah, that was the biggest benefit for me, is the body aches gone. I was even blaming the vaccine, the coronavirus vaccine for a while. I said, what's going on? And no, it was just caffeine, easy fix, but who knew? And another thing that caffeine was doing, which really, really upset me because I didn't know this, it blocks nutrient absorption. Well, that's nice to know. Here I am, dragging myself through life on caffeine, trying to get, feel better, trying to get a perk. And when in fact it was blocking nutrient absorption, which can lead to like anemia, B12 deficiency, iron deficiency, magnesium deficiency. Oh my goodness, a lot of things. That's just horrible. That just adds insult to injury, in my opinion. So getting rid of caffeine has helped and will continue to help nutrient absorption. So I'm out on a quest eating a lot better too, because I'm like thinking, wow, I was deprived. I was, malnourished because, of all of that caffeine intake. And I really was. Like I had blood work done last year, and it was like, well, I'm B12 deficient, I'm iron deficient, I'm anemic. I'm like, what? And I was eating pretty good too, but the nutrients were being blocked. So I was spending good money on good food, and the nutrients were being blocked, so I wasn't absorbing them properly. So, oh, what a ripoff. Stupid caffeine. So that's my experience. Like, I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you to do what I do. This is what I did, and these are the results that I had, and they were positive. They took me 4 days. I only wish I never started drinking this slop. And I understand. I'm not out to change people, to stop them from drinking coffee. Don't get me wrong. You do what you want. I'm in this for myself, and I'm feeling so much better now. Oh my gosh! And I'm doing more. I exercise more, and I recover faster. I'm physically doing more around the house. It was like a light switch just turned on in my favor, and it was like the easiest fix. I didn't have to buy a bunch of supplements, nothing. Just I took something out of my diet instead of continuously trying to add to it. So yeah, that's my experience with caffeine, and that's why I quit it. And like I said, I've been off of caffeine for 2 months, and I feel a lot better. At first, also sleeping. After a couple weeks of being off of caffeine, I noticed that I was sleeping really long and really good. And if I woke up, a little too early, I could fall back asleep easy. Versus when I was on caffeine, I could not. I was doomed. It was like, that's it. You're screwed now for the day. You didn't get enough sleep, and you're not able to fall back to sleep. And oh my gosh, I'm glad that's over. So I really, really got some good sleep since I got off of it. And now I sleep 8 hours straight, no problem. And I feel a lot better. And I'm just looking forward to the future and having more energy and being more healthy, having, better nutrient absorption. So yeah, that's my thing, and that's my experience. And this is not medical advice by any stretch of the imagination. This is what happened to me and what worked for me. So please subscribe to my channel. I have videos on cryptocurrency if you're into that. A few cat videos too. But yeah, I might have a playlist on health things that I've seen, I've done in my life. So yeah, please subscribe, tell your friends, and share this video. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.